Anyways, moving on to the Nigeria's public debt, it 121.67 trillion naira, says NBS. Hmm. It's some of this money when one sees it, it'd be like, okay, what are they putting? What is this money going to? Where is this money? And we see some implementations that are not even necessary, some things that they spend money on, and yet they still look at the case of the 90 billionaire for the Hajj.
Yes.
How can a country that we are still surviving on debt here and there still, I think frivolously, we are just spending on things that does not even make sense at all at this point that we have.
In fact, the best way to begin is that we should expect more debts.
Hmm.
Because there's no other way out.
Hmm.
Government is not thinking on how to go into real production, how to kickstart the real sectors that will generate income. So the lenders are very willing to give more money, and government is willing to collect more. So I think before Buhari left, it was about 97 trillion, and now we've added almost how many trillion to our debt. And like you rightly said, we no longer see the value for this money we are borrowing, and it's very worrisome because we are getting to a point where we might even be borrowing to service our debts. There is nothing left. We might quite get to the issue of the IOCs, trying to frustrate Dangote. If you look at it, it's a free market. Why are they frustrating Dangote? Because Nigeria has used our crudes to borrow money in advance. So we have a situation where we don't even know where to go to. We are borrowing money to pay salaries. We are borrowing money to even fund unnecessary things. So it's time for this government to start thinking of how do we channel this money we are borrowing into real sectors of production. And I give you one very simple instance. Is the issue of agriculture. I still do not, it still baffles me that government has not come to realize that we are having a food crisis in Nigeria. The inflation is driven by cost of living, it's driven by cost of food. The people are hungry and things are going bad. But all you borrow money to do is to, go into unnecessary current expenditure. Why not invest in the value chain of agriculture? From planting to harvesting, to processing, to storage and all that. And within 1 year, you have an output.
Of course.
This is a cycle thing. Some of the agricultural produce, within 6 months, you already have the end product of it. So we are going to borrow more. I'm sorry to announce to you and to tell Nigeria that we should expect more because the government is yet to think.
And yet we still have the case of insecurity because we have where they said the bandits are actually collecting tax. If you want to go to farm, they will come together, farmers will come together and actually pay for them to, and that is why it has gone to all you risk being killed and kidnapped.
But let's look at it this way. I understand that we are facing a very enormous security challenge, but not all part of this country is facing security challenge. Why not identify the less or the countries with less risk and invest? We have Taraba, we have Benue. Not all part of Plateau is having problem. Not all part of Kaduna is having problem. Not all part of Jigawa. Why not look at those areas and provide? So because the simplest thing, there is insecurity in the country, but we are yet to see government active involvement and thinking through the processes of trying to invest these monies that they are borrowing into real sectors that will have impact on the citizens. So that is the problem.
Okay, not to cut you.
Yes, sir.
The last time I came here, I said that Nigeria is becoming a nation that is at war with itself. With all the money we spend for ammunitions, for security gadgets, for vehicles and all, look at the budget. And then you are telling me that farmers cannot go to farm because of insecurity. I know that the military people are trying, at least the fight with Boko Haram, you see every time they've killed soldiers, but we can do more.
Do better.
We can do more. You can't tell me that this can happen in America. even in Ukraine that's at war. And then the fighter jets and all the things we are buying and fueling, and if you take a closer look at their budget, word for word, you see how much, even when the jets are not moving, they are still taking money for the aviation fuel. So we are deceiving ourselves. Until we tell ourselves the truth as a nation, it will continue to linger. Before I got here, I entered the supermarket to buy a pack of juice that usually is 600, 700. By the time they gave me my total bill, I was amazed. I was amazed. I decided to look at it, and I did not know that the juice has moved from triple the price. So we are not going anywhere as a nation. I see them struggling with minimum wage thing. How do you expect me to go to work and at the end of the month my salary cannot buy a bag of rice? So until we tell ourselves the truth as a nation, I don't think we are going. The first point of call is let us tell ourselves the truth. Call a spade a spade. If there are people who are making money from this insecurity in the north, they should go for them. And then let us be done with it. 8 years of the last administration, the same romance and all, and then this is already 1 year into Tinubu's administration, and then the same thing. It doesn't make any sense at all.
And we have a lot of companies who are actually leaving the country. There's a report on ShopRite actually.
Yeah, I saw that.
Closing down, possible. Like now, he said he could. It's because of he can afford the drink. That's why it's a lot of people when you go to the supermarket, they ask because now they don't usually put the price. That's another problem.
They don't put the price.
They don't put the price. So
yes.
You have to ask, how much is this? How much is this? You'll be calculating. Nigerians don't do that before, but now you see them. They have to bring out. The cashier will be calculating. You'll be calculating. How much is this? Okay. Remove this. And I don't see how. So maybe they are making their gain, but at a point, I think there were some agencies going around to shut down some supermarkets.
It is not entirely their fault. It is not entirely their fault, because in Port Harcourt, there is a drink we usually buy for 170,000. In fact, here it is 120 because they have not gone to the market. They don't know the new price. So I was hoping that I would make the drink this morning. Unfortunately, another Nigerian who has known that is still at the old price has gone to buy it yesterday before I got there. And then because they had just gone to the market, the second option I had, I checked on Google. It was saying 120 something. I got to fax this morning, it's 390,000.
Wow.
And the young man who attended to me said they brought those ones yesterday. So
wow.
you cannot buy at 1,000 and sell at 800. It's not possible. Especially with the cost of diesel. I know what it is to run a supermarket. It means that there must be 24 hours light for CCTV, for refrigerators, for frozen food and all. So you don't really need to blame them.
And I think one major worrying thing is that this country is blessed. We shouldn't be in a situation where we'll be where we are. Well, with indifference to APC, I think their policies has not really helped Nigerians.
Anyways, there's a report that says the current security strategy is already yielding results.
From whose report? Government reports?
The
because where you get those reports is, I've never seen a government that will keep coming to praise himself. The real assessment should come from the people.
Of course.
Not from you.
From the masses.
Go and check almost all the things they are praising themselves, from economic performance to say, it's always from the government mouths. And I'm saying that is not the real index to check your performance. The performance should be benchmarked as against what we are seeing.
Yeah.
There's no way insecurity will end when hunger is on the rise. We'll just be deceiving ourselves. Hunger is on a steady rise. The issue of malnutrition, in fact, United Nations World Food Program was saying that we are going to have a lot of malnutrition by next year because people will not be able to afford protein.
Yes.
And we're already seeing the results happening. What other option do you leave a hungry man? One is angry. He doesn't know where the next food will come from. And the next thing he will do is to look at a means to acquire money. and God forbid, you just go and pick somebody on the road, and within
Which
1 day you
each
are,
day comes
yes,
with
you
one
are,
crime.
you are
Even
being
in
given money
Abuja,
for.
they are entering estates,
It's a
they are
problem.
doing this, they are killing.
Yes,
And
I saw.
Yeah.
I still-
A former military general was killed
Absolutely.
in an estate.
And we still have not had a comprehensive. Ask me, what is our food program? What is our policy on food security? I don't know. What is our policy on security? I don't know. What is our policy on health? These are things that government should think through and then carry the people
truth
along.
of the matter remains that it has never been this bad.
Yes.
It has never been this bad, because I know that when we came here, we were talking about Emefiele. I said two things. Nigerians are very sympathetic. They know how to sympathize with people. And then Nigerians are very accommodating. Once you visit a Nigerian, before now, they want to offer you food. But I think the reverse is the case now. People don't even want people to visit them because they are managing
the food they have.
In fact, this morning, as my driver was bringing me here, I was talking to myself. I said, do they still give my driver food from my house? Because I can't remember. Before I would shout, go and give the driver food. Subconsciously, it's not like I intentionally stopped it. But I was trying to remember in the car, do they still give this man food? Like, you know, like before when I was saying, go and give. Because I don't even have enough. I have forgotten that. I usually shout on them to give. So there are a lot of things that are happening now. You wake up, you look at your account balance, you feel that you have money. As soon as you step out of your house,
Go. Panic attack.
so sometimes I don't feel like going out at all. Because the next when you step out, they will ask you, is this savings or current? And as soon as you give, and there's one thing about money. If you have 200,000 naira, and once you remove 20,000 from it, it's going like that.
It's gone.
I don't know.
I learned that the hard way.
So sometimes even when there is a peculiar need, I just pretend, because I know that
Yes.
I was okay. I'll remove 20. Let me just remove another 30, and then before you know, the money is gone.
So imagine if it is not coming from anywhere again.
That is the problem.
And that is also driving out the investors, like you said, driving out the people, the business people in Nigeria, because the purchasing power is 0 to nothing, right? The purchasing power is not there. And I always see government saying, oh, we go back to farm. How much is a bag of fertilizer today? If you want to buy chemical, how much is it? If you want to hire laborers, if you want to buy farm implements, if you want to buy crops,
It's pathetic.
there is no intervention. Chief said something about minimum wage. Maybe we might get to that point. After 1 year of removing fuel subsidy, so-called removal of fuel subsidy, you are yet to come up with a plausible, visible, and implementable policy. It's a problem. And this thing is still driving more frustration.
Yes.
It's still,
To read all that.
hearing Chief Emmanuel speak this morning, I remember when they say the rich now cries.
They said it has got to
Everybody,
that point.
everybody's crying,
No,
except
the-
those in government.
No. Even those in government. Can I tell you why I say even those in government?
Okay.
Because before now, if people around me have events, maybe burial or marriage ceremony, I just tell them, oh, don't worry about rice. I'll give you rice. But I am struggling to
All right.